Hey everyone, I am thrilled to welcome you to Black History Month on the Tell Me More podcast. And I wanted to start off this month with a special conversation because all of our chats, like and especially curated guests that we are going to have this month speaking with us, are all Black women. And why is that? Because I want to celebrate the 92% of us that are not responsible for this shit show that we are living in. And because the world right now is exceedingly fucked up, I want to not only celebrate Black History Month in the biggest way that it deserves, because I don't think that this world is reflecting that, but I also want to give credit where credit is overly due and often denied, and elevate the people that I know are doing the work consistently. And I don't say that just to, flatter myself. I say that to draw attention to the good sis out there who might be saying to herself, I don't feel seen, or I did my part, or, if you are watching this on YouTube, to speak a little Black intuition. If you are the Black people, you understand this, just look at my face. See, you know exactly what I said. So that being said, I want you to know, sis. And if you're listening right now, like, what is she even? Trust me, if you are Black people, you know what I said. You know. And you honestly, if you're Black people and you're listening to this, you probably know what I said without seeing my face. Am I right? Exactly, sis. So I want to say something that I know will make some of you uncomfortable right out of the gate. Like, I just know it. I know some of you will be like, this, like, be for real, Nicole. Look, America loves grace. We live in a country that celebrates it. People say this to me all the time. Nicole, you are so, when people get into your DMs and say terrible things, you are so full of grace. Like, how do you even do that? You just be reading people with grace. I just want to let you know, everybody out there is truly getting the final show, right? The final version, because that dress rehearsal and rough draft ain't got not a lick of grace in it. Okay. Like I'm telling you, I have the ability to go off, and it's so frustrating to not just me. And I'm not trying to speak, for all Black women, because we are not a monolith, right? But essentially for, the women that I know, it's frustrating to be in a country that celebrates grace, particularly amongst women, but we don't extend it to Black women. We are not beneficiaries of the thing that is demanded from us. And in America, we love grace for men who fail upwards, right? For men who, fail and fail and fail and fail and fail. We just continuously are like, man, he just stayed with it. He just kept going. Or he's a failure and never should have had what was given to him. Right? We give grace to politicians who say sorry, I don't know, 3 times, 4 times, maybe with, their wife standing next to them, right? We'll give them grace. And then maybe we'll even give them a book deal, and maybe even a reality show after that, right? We even have grace for systems that harm people, as long as the harm is quiet, not on camera and visible, and we can try to find some legality to kind of explain it away, right? We allow these things to happen because that is what grace is, right? Not challenging the system and just permitting it to exist. But Black women, we get responsibility. Do you know how frustrating it is to be on a platform like Threads and see people screaming, what is Kamala Harris doing? Back up. Y'all didn't want the Black lady. You had a chance to make sure she was the one running things, and you said, no, you didn't want her, right? So why are we calling her name now? Well, she needs to be an example. She should be leading the movement. She should be part of the resistance. How dare she? Please, she should get her book deal. She should be curled up with her man, and she should be off somewhere doing something amazing to rest and relax, because she told us. She told us. So why do we as Black women get the responsibility? Why do we get the endurance award? Sis, you so resilient. I don't want to be resilient, right? We're always told that we need to be patient. Our turn will come. We need to be prayerful, right? Trust in the Lord. We need to be polite. It's okay for you to have like an opinion, but just don't be so angry about it. Like, it's cool that you read them, but just like do it nicely. But understand that this is not commonplace across America. It's expected of us, though. And so during Black History Month, I believe that one of the biggest misgivings about this month is that Black women are celebrated within this month for our strength, but we're not celebrated with the context of understanding what is required for us to be strong in the first place. Understand that that's not by accident, that's by design. That's intentional. There's a stat that I discovered that really should stop everyone in this country, and somehow it never does. And it's this phrase called the 92%, right? 92% of Black women voted for Kamala Harris. 92% of Black women are looking at screens every single day saying the chaos, the conversation, the video imagery, the heartache, the pain. Even if you're someone who said to yourself, well, I did vote, for this administration, but maybe I don't like the way they're doing things, right? Well, we didn't vote for that either. We didn't vote for any of it. We knew in advance that it could be like this. And we knew that if we voted for the Black lady, she may not be perfect because, again, we do not hold Black women to a standard that is above others, right? We're at least holding them to perform as the role requires, but no more or less than the white man who got the job before us, right? So we knew she would be imperfect, but we also knew that we wouldn't be looking at some of the chaos, the madness, the heartache, the harm that we're witnessing now. And understand that 92% of us did not vote for this because Black women show up. We vote, we organize, we volunteer. We carry communities, we carry churches, we carry families, we carry communities. We are known to be leaders. I even see people talking online about how warm it is whenever they receive a compliment from a Black woman on the street, or how whenever they, meet an older Black woman, and God, why does it feel good when an older Black woman tells you like baby or calls you honey or calls you sweetie? Because we're expected to be this carrier of warmth and goodness all the time. But make no mistake, we also do that for each other. Ain't nothing like walking down the street and having a Black woman look at you and say, come on, sis. Because a Black woman can compliment you in like 3 words. Literally like, yes, shoes. Come on, sis. Okay, hair. That is literally how we operate. But understand that we are often over 90% aligned when it comes to protecting democracy, human dignity, and basic rights. But this is the part that no one likes to say out loud. Being the most loyal constituency in America, being the most loyal product to what America is promised to be, does not automatically make us the most protected. We are the most ignored. We are the most bypassed. We are the most cast aside, even in the conversation happening right now where people are like, I cannot believe this is happening. Do you know how insulting that is to a Black woman to hear when we're like, you didn't believe us when we said it? We said it. We're the ones saying, hey, this thing is coming. When will you listen? If you want to pick a time to listen, Black History Month is it. We keep being told that we are to wait after the election, right? Like that even though we are the backbone and we are the buffer, we're the shock absorber, right? Because when everything goes wrong, right? Shock absorber. Oh my God, let's look to Oprah to give us guidance. Where's Kamala? Gosh, Michelle, she's really doing it. Like we're the ones who are expected to help kind of bring the calm. We're the ones that are always expected to hold the line while everyone else is still negotiating and figuring out what they want to do, what their place is and all that. But we're supposed to keep things flowing. And we're still told to wait, though, to be protected, right? Until after the crisis. Like that's our turn in line, right? After the courts decide, after the movement kind of catches up, after the budget clears, we'll have room, we'll have time, we'll have money, we'll pay you accordingly. Being a Black woman is to live in the after, even though you are doing the work in the before. Even when the after assures safety, protection, and well-being for all of us. We keep being told to wait. And I think that this is being elevated and is even more evident when we're looking at what's happening with immigration. So many people are shocked to see the Black community rally to support the immigrant community outside of immigrants that look just like us. Because one thing that we definitely understand is that oppression of one absolutely makes its way to us every single time. Every single time. And so we can talk about immigration, right? Because it's a human issue. It's not a political sport. These are lives. This isn't a game, right? You can believe in borders and still believe in humanity. You heard me talk about this. And you can believe in law and you can still reject cruelty. But the problem in America is not that we have immigration laws. Every country has immigration laws, right? This is a common trope. This is a common conversation. Black people understand this, right? We are aware because we were never immigrants. We were stolen. So the problem is how comfortable we're becoming with dehumanization in the name of enforcement. And you are hearing Black women ring the alarm about this because we're familiar with dehumanization. We're familiar with people calling our bodies masculine or overweight or obese or treating them as if there's some caricature of the correct body that is epitomized by whiteness until they want to buy our bodies, whether it's for work or adornment. And we know that when we see children in cages, it's not a metaphor. We're Black. We know what that is. We know that when families are separated, it's not just a misunderstanding in paperwork. We're Black. It's been done intentionally. We know that when we delay and delay and delay people's paperwork, that's not just policy. That is a deliberate punishment. It's a messaging around entitlement and saying you don't belong here. We know that because we were brought here to only be told we don't belong here. And before someone says, well, that's just not how the system works, right? Like, that's not it. Like, people just need to do things the right way. And like, the two aren't even related and no one's even talking about Black people. I just want you to know, systems are made by people. The stuff you're seeing is systemic, which is why Black women have the pattern recognition. We have the foresight to see what is coming because we have experienced what has happened. And because we know that systems are made by people and maintained by people and defended by people, it also means that people can change them. So we've never bought into this lie that it's just how it's always been and how it will always be. We understand this instinctively. We understand it as part of our daily existence and in our bones, because these very systems that we're forced to live within have never worked for us. They haven't. I mean, even when we've had the ability to work twice as hard for twice as long to get half as much, we're told that we never even earned it simply because of our Blackness. So our Blackness has served as an impediment to getting to the place that we're supposed to be. And then when we finally arrive, we say that we only received it because of our Blackness. It's like it's a gaslighting game. And yet Black women have survived in spite of it all. In spite of it all, we've still managed to make it. So understand that what we are seeing happen here is it's not unfamiliar to us, and we are absolutely qualified to speak on it. Now, I do want to talk about faith because one thing you will also notice is within the Black community, man, we are a faithful people. Okay, Black women are quick to not just protest, but to pray. They go hand in hand. But it's not lost on us that some of the loudest voices that are out there defending cruelty are trying to justify it by using this very same Bible. And I want you to know this, and I want to be really clear about my stance on this, and I want you to hear this. Jesus never built a wall. He never asked for paperwork before feeding people. He was never a person to tell the vulnerable to wait their turn. That just didn't exist. Jesus worked on the Sabbath. That was part of why he was crucified. Go ahead, look it up. Ask your pastor. He was out here doing good work. He was engaging with people. And that was, by nature, a huge element of the lesson he was here to teach. What he was known to do was to disrupt systems, particularly systems that protect people in power at expense of the people. If the system is set up where the powerful people are in charge of moderating the information you receive, of prosecuting the crimes that they commit, and also influencing your future, despite creating a reality where they don't have to participate in it, that is a system that needs dismantled. It needs modified and it needs changed. And one of the biggest lies that they keep telling you that Black women are screaming is not true is that there is no way to dismantle it. We have not gone too far. Do not reside in despair. And recognize that, especially for me as a Christian, There's nothing more frustrating and angering and disappointing than knowing that the very faith that I try my best to live by is being bastardized and used to justify these things by people who I know couldn't find a Bible if they tried. And I want you to know that if you are being told that your Christianity should be used to affirm control, and that's what you need to be concerned about, that the Bible is dictating our importance around controlling others and our environment and our world and our land and our borders, rather than focusing on compassion, then what you're defending is not your faith. What you're defending is your comfort. And there's nothing less biblical than that. If you want to talk about what Jesus is, Jesus's teachings, his life, his being, his message was all about compromising your comfort for what is right, both in the worship of the Lord and in our teachings and behaviors towards each other. Black women have always practiced a lived faith. Sometimes loud, but not always a loud one. Sometimes it's functional. We get out there and we believe in hands and feet of Jesus, right? We feed people, we show up, we hold grief and hope in the same hands. That's what we do. So I want you to know this thing about this sort of gap of grace, right, that I'm discussing here, that we're not seeing extended to Black women, partly as a tool, as a means to keep you from listening to us, right? It's that America doesn't lack empathy. We have it. We have it. You don't see Black women out here talking about toxic empathy. You don't see that. We're not asking you to extend empathy to those that don't deserve it. We're not trying to say that only some people are worthy and we're the ones who decide who are worth it. We're literally trying to be the example of letting you know that there is space not just for us, but also for you. America does not actually lack empathy. What's happening right now is people are trying to tell you to ration it, that there's only a little bit here and a little bit there, and it should go to these places. That empathy, that grace is often extended based on proximity to power. And if we feel like that power is in a position to cause us harm and cruelty, then suddenly we have bountiful grace for that behavior. Forgiveness seems to flow upward and not outward. That is, again, the antithesis, especially if you call yourself a Christian, of how things are and how they should be. So when you see Black women demanding humanity, not just for ourselves, during the racial reconciliation movement of George Floyd, if you want to even call it that, so many people felt like when people were screaming Black Lives Matter, when Black women in particular were screaming Black Lives Matter, that we were ending that with only. When in reality, you're learning now, because we're screaming that same call for white bodies being slaughtered in the streets by the same power and oppression that has been killing us since day one. You're realizing that we truly mean Black Lives Matter too. Black Lives Matter also. We care about your life because we know that if the system can cut you down in the street, it will continue to do the same to us. We know that if they start with us, it'll make its way to you. But we're called angry. And when we demand policy, we're called unrealistic. That'll never happen. That change cannot occur. Well, I hope you are witnessing now that if you aren't invested in putting forth and supporting and backing up the policy that we're calling for to protect us all, that eventually the same pain and suffering and heartache that we have been residing in will meet your own doorstep. When we demand rest, which right now, as we witness what has happened, where we have 92% showed up to say we do not want, we're being told that that we're being ungrateful. This is your country too. Show up. And we're like, we need rest for a minute, please. Let us rest. But sure enough, because we're known for saving the day, everyone wants our strength again, right? I want to let you know that's not respect. And this Black History Month, I want you to know that if there's one thing that I ask of you, amongst what you may be hearing from others, one thing that, this Black woman asks of you as you're looking to celebrate and looking to honor and looking to learn and hopefully looking to listen, I want you to recognize that Black History Month should not be about celebrating how much Black people can endure. It has to be about asking why endurance keeps being required of us. Grace should not be a privilege and humanity should not be conditional. So, if having this conversation we just had right now made you a little uncomfortable, made you maybe look at me and say, "Man, I didn't Nicole, like, she seems like she's a little hype right now. Like, that's not the direction I thought this would go." If you felt like some of the things that I said here challenge your thoughts, your perspectives, and you may not have looked at Black women in this way, and you felt a good bit of discomfort, well, I want to let you know that's a good thing because discomfort is the beginning of change.